I won.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Esports Podcast, LEC edition. I am your.
Support esports.
What'd I say?
Supports.
Supports. Nice.
Welcome to the channel of support mains.
Sword?
Yep.
No, not really.
No.
I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brock
Yeah.
and Brian.
Hello.
And another mediocre week in LEC. I won.
Fest.
I won again. It's 6-4 again, though. It wasn't pretty. This is LEC is a mess right now. I'm just gonna come out and say it right away.
I am out on certain teams that I will reveal later.
I'm out on there's a few teams I'm also out on. But let's jump right into it. First game of the week we had Origin versus Splice. This one was a pretty big win for Origin. It was kind of close for 15 minutes, but then they just were taking all the objectives. We've seen this in multiple other games that when you take objectives, you have an advantage later on, and when you hit your spikes on on Sivert and Kennen, team fighting works really well when you have those spikes before your enemy team.
Yeah, I actually have this example for one of my power rankings when we get to it, but pretty much playing Ezreal, I know it's good late, but if you're playing against someone like Sivir or just a hyperscaling Jinx, like a hyperscaling ADC, I feel like in a team fight situation, they normally win and Ezreal loses. So
The sort of depends because Ezreal
depends on
can
how good
scale
the person-
late game really well now. Because
Yeah,
Also,
he also only had
didn't
one
He didn't do the
double
yeah,
tier.
the
He only had
double
he only had
tier,
one tier. That's the issue.
I also think if you're gonna play Ezreal into like good late game crit 80 carries, just be double lift or don't do it. Because he's one of the few 80 carries who can actually get away with stuff like that.
I think Ezreal works at the moment. Not next patch 9.6. He's getting gutted. Like I saw that he's getting like his W reduced from 90% to 70% or something like that. Ooh.
Yeah, that's called the Fnatic buff, so people have to play
Yeah.
crit 80s
Yeah,
against Reckless.
yeah, and his Q is also doing like going from like 50% bonus AP or something to like 30%. It's like 20% cuts in his damage.
That's not huge because he doesn't build. He builds the
His Q and his
Seraphs,
W. Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's gonna hurt him bad.
it's probably because of towers. But
Oh yeah, which I wish they would have nerfed that earlier. Sorry, Brock, I interrupted you.
No, you didn't interrupt me.
Oh, okay. Never
I
mind.
was just saying that's I agree with what Brian was saying because when it comes to team fights with Ezreal, as long as you're team fighting outside of minions, like outside of lanes,
Yeah,
Ezreal is fine. But once you put minions and objectives in the way, then Ezreal really starts lacking in team fights.
yeah, I
But-
agree with that. And Sivir,
But
the ricochets go right through.
yeah, Silver just doesn't care about anything. It's good to see champions like Silver though coming back.
I
I
love Silver.
enjoy seeing stuff like that
I love Sivir.
because I'm not the type of person who likes to see the same stuff over and over and over. And this is a game where I hate the fact that Silas won, even though he really didn't do much.
uh, I don't mind Silas too much.
No, I'm on that build. That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
on.
that's,
I'm
I
on
haven't
that.
heard that. Moving on though, we had the next game. We had SK versus Excel. Excel destroyed SK this game. We were complaining about it. I believe was it the LCK podcast with Karthus? No, probably not. Probably LMS.
No.
It was LMS.
I think it was the LMS.
Yeah, because LCK does not play Karthus at all.
No.
Yeah, I am not a fan of the Karthus jungle since gold nerfs to the camps. I haven't been a fan of him since then. He can still work, but I much rather would have something else. But this was all about Special, who I've been flaming for the last few weeks. I feel he popped off on the Zoe this week.
I saw what he was doing in the games where his team was struggling. He's a solid player.
Yeah,
I've been saying it. I've actually been defending him.
I think Expect is also he's been doing great. He crushed on the Ranked, he destroyed that Kennen counter pick against. Kennen is the counter to Ranked, right? Yeah, because you have the range.
I mean, it's range. So,
Yeah. Oh, you picked range top lane to counter to every single top laner.
Melee top lane.
Yep.
Wasn't a
It
counter
is
this
good.
matchup.
Not this one.
Not this matchup.
Nope. Got
We're next to
destroyed.
3-0 and 4 against the Cannon. Good pick though. Yeah, like you were saying was special. I think for Excel, since how right now they're obviously not going to be making playoffs.
I think they're mathematically eliminated, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's 2 weeks left, and they're 3-11.
Yes, they're mathematically eliminated because
Yeah,
you need 7 wins right now, but those 7-win teams are gonna face each other.
yeah. I think it's good though because right now you're seeing both the mid laners, and they're actually both looking pretty good. There's just really unfortunate how their seasons turned out so far.
Yeah,
Um, but it's good to see both of them actually doing some stuff. Like you see good things with this guy, and you see good things with this guy. So it's good that it's working like that.
yeah, and
I
Kasing had a
like it though.
monster week as well. The whole week, honestly, he had a pretty good week. Uh,
Uh-huh.
the Braum was they just popped off all over the place in this game, and SK looked pretty bad. I hate SK personally because I can never pick them correctly. Every time I
Nobody
go in on
can.
them, they lose. Every time I think they're crap, they win. It's
Yep.
ridiculous. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
no one expected them to win their second game, so
Yeah, that's true. Next game was Vitality versus Misfits. Vitality looked really good. Didn't have Jizuke. Still looked totally fine.
yeah, this was what's his name, Saken.
Yep,
This
Mhm.
was
Seiken.
his 2v1 to pretty much seal the game
Yep. Yeah.
with the Rise.
And then I like Attila and Jinx. I love seeing Jinx in the meta. And
Cabochard popped
Cabochard
off
popped
again.
off on the Silas of all champs.
Yeah,
But
he
it was because I gotta flame Misfits coaching here. What's with the Urgot pick?
I have no idea.
Did they forget to read the patch notes?
Well, the Urgot in our solo queue games, well, duo queue, I guess technically, he forgot to read the patch notes,
That was a
and it was
flex.
also his first. It was flex.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well, he also had never played it before.
yeah,
So
yeah, and that I've been saying he's been gutted. I showed Brian and Brock the stats. He's the 46 out of 46 top laners. That's a hard fall.
dang, that's bad.
Yeah, there's not Nautilus top is better than Urgot win rate wise at the moment.
That's
As
just
well it should be.
Nope. Man,
For me,
Nautilus top was my glory days too. I miss Nautilus
remember
top.
Nautilus Jungle?
I never played Nautilus jungle too
I
much.
played Nautilus
I
jungle.
was
Man,
I
I
was
remember
all
that.
about the Sunfire. The Sunfire Iceborne meta was like my golden meta with Malphite and Nautilus and
Yeah,
not
building
really
tank
Cho'Gath.
items to damage.
Yeah, it was great. Great times. Miss those days. Now I have nothing. There's nothing for me. But yeah, Urgot, don't pick him. Don't pick him right now. He's getting some crazy rework buffs in PBE for next 9.6. But not only Urgot though, they picked the Rakan. Rakan sucks right now. He doesn't suck in 9.5, I don't think, because they increased his speed again. But like, that's 2 really bad champs at the moment.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Maxlor in this game because I feel like he actually played really well
On
on
the
the
Rek'Sai,
Rek'Sai
yeah, Rek'Sai's a
early.
monster too right now.
Yeah, he played well early. I think that's one of his picks that he'd been playing a lot in the past, and it
Mhm.
finally came back. And we've been flaming him pretty much for the entire split just
Yeah.
because he's looked pretty bad.
Outside the
And
first 2 weeks where he looked godlike.
yeah, yeah. And then what's it called? And then his coach just inted him. So
Yeah, that was. They were not in a position to win this game whatsoever
no.
from the very beginning. Next we had G2 versus Rogue. Game kind
What
of
was the
went.
game after that one?
Game went exactly how you would expect. Don't want to spend too much time on that. G2
I
popped
actually
off.
didn't watch this game because I was like, I had something to do. I don't remember what. I was like, oh, it's G2 Rogue. I won't miss it.
You didn't. Rogue
Hey,
took a Rift, Herald. They got a few kills here and there, but that's mostly because G2 plays so over aggressive. It's insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't work. The one game this whole like week that I can say that Jax was not. It's not broken. But there's.
Because he had Finn on it.
Yeah, I
but
think it's
Urgot
more of
didn't.
a Finn versus Wonder situation instead.
Also, playing a duelist into Jax, who's got a pretty solid solo kill. So
Yeah. God, there's Monster Jackson LCK on Sandbox today. I'm so pissed off about that.
save it for your
Yes,
LCK
it's
podcast.
next
will you?
week. I'm 0
Okay.
2 already. Ah, Next, we had Fnatic versus SO4. Fnatic, what is wrong with Schalke? Holy crap! Like they are terrible right now. How
This is the Whippo hard carry. Brock
This was the
said
Whipple hard
you
carry.
can you can never trust Whippo to carry. Well,
hmm
Exhibit A.
He did. This
Not on Scion.
I was quite surprised, to be honest. Whippo hasn't carried a game in since like the beginning of Worlds.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got completely destroyed in the finals of Worlds, and I think the Shy just mentally destroyed him. Like, and he never recovered until about this week, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a great game by him, though.
I think he's been okay, but not good.
The last few weeks he's been okay. Before that, I would not say he was okay. I would say he's doing pretty bad. But I want to talk about SO4. They look really bad.
I think they're on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak right now.
Yeah. Like, they're really bad right now.
I'll check that real quick.
Yes, thank you for that. But yeah, this was just a absolute clean victory by Fnatic, as you can see by the gold graph. Once they hit like 11 minutes, there's a 1K gold lead, and then they extended by about 1K every single minute, like up to 12K at 30 minutes there, and they just took everything. As if we're to take an objective, just a straight up blowout. Ooh, my Google Chrome is freezing up. There we go. Next, we have G2 versus SK. Man, that was a throw and a half by G2. G2 started out this game pretty great. They took a Cloud Drake. They were winning a fight. It was like 1-1, 2-1. Then here they took a Cloud Drake. They gave up the Rift Scuttlers and the tower, but then they take another tower, Earth, 2 towers, a bunch of kills, huge team fight, Infernal, Baron, Tower, Inhib, tower, split team fight, and then all of a sudden that split team fight resulted in an Infernal for SK, a Baron for SK, a bunch of towers for SK, and all of a sudden SK just won the game. Yeah. That's pretty much exactly how it went. Like,
and if you look at the scores of G2, also, I mean, their carries look great.
Yep.
I mean, Aurelia didn't have a great score. But
no wonder did not do good. But Poppy's a hard counter to Aurelia, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I can't.
And honestly, and Yankos.
Yeah.
And Silas, kind of.
Yankos put on
Actually,
some.
kind of all of them. They all have dashes in.
Yeah, really. You're not wrong, Poppy. See about the coaching on Misfits where you screwed your top laner. Not SK's coaching. Great choice. So
This was just late game jinx at its finest.
Oh yeah, and it was just this was G2 trolling and then getting like way too confident. Pretty sure they alt tabbed for a second and we started watching some YouTube videos while they were playing. And
yeah, the graph is hilarious.
Yeah, they were never
see no red.
Yeah,
except the 2 dots at the beginning.
Yeah, the very beginning, SK was up by 125 gold at 3 minutes and never led for the rest of the game, even when they won. Still was down by 2K gold. Like, this was by all intents and means, a blowout. Like a 10K gold lead by 24 minutes, or 8.8K gold lead by 24 minutes is a big blowout. Like,
yeah, they took a page out of Clutch's playbook.
Yeah, pretty much. They literally. It was bad. It was just Caps got caught out on the Silas, I believe, twice, was it? And then just Perks went in. They started all going in at one at a time. That's never a good strategy. Never ever has that been a good strategy. Not even one time.
Yeah, that's one that I've got to get in my head.
Yep, I do it all the time. I'm like, okay, I gotta go save this person, but I'm the only one going to save them, and they're dead before I get there. I might as well stay and try and get a kill. And then I die, and then someone else had that same thought to me. Then they die. Solo queue. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think this game was a good game, but I don't think... obviously, G2 threw their lead. They shouldn't have gotten in the position they were at to begin with. But even when SK was taking their inhib towers bot lane, that's still a winnable game for G2.
Well, yeah,
but Caps did. Well, no, not only that, Caps did the worst play I've ever seen. His teleport to try and backdoor was the worst play he could have made because they had mid lane and bot lane not bot lane, mid lane and top lane pushed to the inhibs. No towers up, so the waves were going to get the inhibs. All they had to do was fight. and then Caps could have went.
Yeah, they just had to delay the backs.
Yeah, they just had to stop. Like, they could have won the team fight. I think they could have won the team fight because if there's anyone who is going to make someone proud on Silas, it's Caps because his build went full man mode. Like, no tank items, nothing.
No Lich Bane! No Lich Bane!
Still
Why?
Lich Bane.
Why is this a thing?
My man was 33 minutes into the game and only had a Seeker's Arm Guard from the Zanyas. Like, he didn't even go Zanyas yet.
Yeah, I just don't.
But,
I don't get the no Lich Bane. Only the LMS listens to us. What is wrong?
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's bad. It's not good. That play was very bad, and it shouldn't have happened like it did.
Yeah.
Because you're in a team. You're G2 in a team fight. Like you shouldn't be worried about anything. Even though the Jinx is fed, which the Jinx was very much fed.
Yeah.
It's still a winnable team fight.
Yep.
But my play of the week, which we haven't obviously when we get there you'll see it, but my play of the week is actually a lot different this week because it actually is in this game. And it was just what SK did at the end of the game to stop that. Because if SK messes up that team fight, Caps wins the game. And they literally focus. If you watch that fight, they only attack one person at a time. Like, nobody loses focus on a player.
That's good.
Like, you don't see any other person taking damage but one person at a time. And it's an amazing team fight.
Brian, I don't know if you've been on the podcast. Can you do you understand why teams are not taking Lich Bane on Silas? Doesn't it seem like the perfect item for him?
It does because he goes in. I haven't played Silas.
Oh,
so
well, he gets the powerful auto attacks after every spell. He gets enhanced auto attacks.
That does sound pretty nice.
What is the unique passive of Lich Bane? Does it cancel with the passive? I don't think so.
No, because Echo.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a literal perfect item for Silas, and only LMS builds it for some reason. I don't know why. I've even looked up guides. I've never played Silas myself. I looked up guides for this because it confuses me, and no one builds it. It's in the guides as well. It says core items. It's Lich Bane because his passive, weirdly, works exactly with the passive of Lich Bane. So you use a spell, you get a super enhanced auto attack on top of your super enhanced auto attack.
Yeah.
It makes me so angry. Like, even like I get the tank Silas, so they're just building full tank, but person's going full AP here. Where is the Lich Bane?
Yep. I don't know.
Makes me mad. And here we go again. Next game, Splice versus SO4.
Okay, I've looked back at SO4's games.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to take it back to February 1st. This is not where the losing streak starts. Their last quality win, I would say, was February 1st, first game or second game of the first day of the week. I don't know which week it was. They beat Splice.
Wow.
And then they beat XL. Okay. They beat a really slumping Misfits. Okay, so you're like, "Oh, they're good." Then they lost to Origin. Then they beat Rogue. Okay, and here's where it starts. They lose to Vitality. They lose to G2. Okay, no panic. They lose to SK. Huh. Okay, well SK, they're good, but doesn't look good for SO4. They lose to Fnatic. Oh, Fnatic's on the up and up. Then they lose to Splice, who I think was their last quality win. That's a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, it's not good. That's not good.
That's from 7-2 to 7-7.
Yeah, I mean they're a game away from being out of the playoffs as well, and I actually had them out of the playoffs. I think right now.
I also think so.
Yeah,
and picking this week is going to be tough for SO4.
Yep, and this was just a straight blowout by Splice, and Splice doesn't do blowouts. Let's just say this was a 26-minute win by Splice. Yes.
You say Splice don't do blowouts? Splice also doesn't do 26-minute games.
That's what I mean. Splice makes sure every game goes 45 minutes.
Splice is the only team who could be 34-2 in kills and still have a game last 42 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because they will push you, take all your towers, but find a reason to back for no reason at all. They're like, all right, guys, look, I know we just took their inhib towers, but their jungler's up in 32 seconds. I think we should back.
And here is an example where, unlike the Maokai that we talked about in NA, I love Cho'Gath in the Kennen. Cho'Gath is a very strong pick in the Kennen.
Yeah, that silence really stops a lot.
Yeah, it stops a lot. He does punish you a bit with his range, like, because, welcome to range
Build
on
a
top lane.
Spectre's Cowl and you're
Yep,
good.
yep. It's literally all you need is your first MR
He
item
didn't
and
do
you're
that
too
this
tanky.
game, but yeah.
Yeah. He still built the Abyssal Mask.
Yeah.
And the Merc Treads. But, like, you literally, Kennen has no sustain. Cho'Gath has if Kennen jumps in on you, you just hit him with your E, and then you can, if you got to make sure he is done with his dashing, then you can get the knock-up silence. The fact that Kennen has no sustain is a very big thing for Cho'Gath, because you just can whittle him down, keep him about like 60% HP, then you can go all in, knock up, silence, E, eat him, done. I've played a lot.
Yeah.
I play a lot of Cho'Gath.
He does. But I don't know, and I don't know if you've played the matchup Kennen into Cho'Gath,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah, I win that most times.
Does your silence, because I know his E, you can activate it again to come out of his E. Does the silence take him out of it? Because that could be.
No, it does. It doesn't take him out of it.
It doesn't.
No.
Okay.
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, I should.
Yeah,
I say I played a
don't know.
bunch, but I mean, we're talking like I've played it a bunch over the course of 4 years of playing Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath's my second most played champion outside of Leona. Like, yeah, it's not a very common matchup, but it's the sustain issue that Kennen has. That he's squishy, so you just got to give him about 60% health over 2 or 3 exchanges, and then you can just eat him because he's super squishy and no sustain. Yeah, and I just complained about Silas. Look at this. There's a Luden's Echo. I guess he only made the Rod of Ages Luden's Echo, but I would go Rod of Ages first, Lichbane second. Every game on Silas is what I would think, but maybe I'm wrong. Spirit Visage is also pretty solid, but
yeah, I don't know if you go. I don't know. I haven't really played Silas, so I don't know if his mana consumption is that bad. Or you need the Lost Chapter and Rod of the Ages first. Maybe that's why they do it, but I wouldn't assume his mana consumption is that bad.
Yeah. The Lichbane also gives you mana.
Yeah.
But the Lost Chapter gives you more mana, is what I'm saying.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, I don't know why you wouldn't opt for more damage early.
I just want someone to explain to me why it's not picked in pro play. It seems like
I really don't know.
I don't criticize items too much because I'm not very fancy with my builds. Like, as a tank player, I adapt to what the enemy team is. I don't have like, what type of damage should I take? No, it's like, do I take Randuins if they're full AD? Okay, yes. It's very simple for me. But
the only thing I can think of that would be the reason to not go Lichbane and go the Iceborne over, if that's the right item. I'm not sure which tank item builds with Sheen because I don't build tank items. But the only reason I can think of is if you're playing against a team where it's hard for you to engage on, like be up close enough to use your passive.
They're full AD.
Yeah,
it's the only thing I can think of.
I could also see Iceborne being good. Do people build it?
Yes, that's the main.
That's the only thing they build.
Well,
okay, I haven't paid attention.
It's usually like
this match history. And
yeah.
So.
It's usually like a Rod of Ages, Spirit Visage, Iceborne is like the 3 items in pro play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet,
and Spirit Visage, I'm okay with Spirit
totally
Visage.
fine with Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage.
Yeah, because his W heal is broken enough already. Might as well add some more in there too.
Yeah, exactly. No problems with that one. I just hey. Look at this. This is a win by Fnatic in a 4-0-5 Silas with a Lichbane.
Nemesis popping off. It was against rogues, so maybe they're just theory crafting, but now they know.
Yeah. Look at these. He gets movement speed so he can chase people down quicker. 80 ability power is nothing to laugh at.
That's a lot.
Cooldown, mana, and after using ability, you get the next basic attack deal 75% of your.
I love its build this game. I guess I could see where someone would say, "Oh, maybe you need the Spirit Visage because he's playing against the Rise," but
the rest of
the team, exactly. And so if you just build full damage, the Rise has to sustain through a fight, and if you're on top of him, and you have Lichbane and freaking Rabadons, hopefully you can just pop him out. I mean, he's got shields and stuff, but
Which is crazy. This game that he built Lichbane, because for me this is a game where I would have been okay with Iceborne, because that is a hard team to engage on.
Yes.
Like if you try to engage on Rise, he's gonna kite you a lot. Same with Ezreal, and then Lee said if you try to engage, he can kick you back into your team. And I mean, did anyone really engage on Camille? I don't know, but and then you have a Braum. Like that's a tough team to engage on.
Yeah.
And even he's like, nah.
It would be fine if you had Rakan of old, but Rakan does not engage well at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just looked up Silas, by the way, just to make sure. His passive is after casting a spell, Silas's next basic attack whirls his energized chains around him, dealing bonus magic damage to enemies hit.
In an AoE.
In an
Like,
AoE.
I believe it's an AoE damage, yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
I think so.
It's the perfect item. I'm never gonna learn. I'm never gonna understand why it's not picked. It's often LMS picks it every game, and they don't know what they're doing. So
There's got to be some pro player streaming right now, right?
yeah, I gotta ask. I gotta ask someone.
I'll donate money to figure this out.
we'll just donate $5 to Bjergsen and say, hey,
yeah.
why don't y'all build
Yeah.
Lichbane on Silas?
Why is Lichbane not build every game on Silas? Because it's built some games, so you gotta specify every game.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a perfect core item. I don't get it. But I'm like I said, I'm a scrub. We're all scrubs.
We are.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, this game was a blowout for Fnatic, but that's Rogue didn't look good. Rogue is actually bringing Profit back, and we did. So
I'm okay with Profit.
I think Vander's really stepped up Rogue's play. I don't like that one. Yeah, I'm totally okay with Profit replacing Finn. Finn was the never got only one trick you said.
Yeah, I'm okay with bringing Widid back, but I think Vander's been playing so well.
Yeah.
That like until he really falters, maybe. Is it? Hold on, let's see. No, he would be their only import. So.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird. I don't agree with that one because I think that Rogues actually looked like an okay bottom of the pack team. Like, how do I explain? They're still not good, but they're competitive in their games with Vander.
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're just not as good as anyone else. If they're playing in Brazil, who knows? Maybe they smurf. But no blame to Brazil. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's the thing where I think having Vander in, they've looked competitive in all their games. They've won 2, and they've looked competitive, I believe, in their 4 losses since he's came around. For the most part. And not against G2, but that's not their fault. Okay, the next game we had Misfits versus Excel. This was a game. This was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Look at this graph.
Looks like the freaking Rockies.
Boom, boom, boom. Misfits took complete control of the game, threw at Baron, lost everything at Baron, completely lost almost their entire gold lead, and then with the Baron buff, Excel got caught out, lost everything again, and then they took the inhib. Sorry, that's my bad. They did take the inhib. That was their second issue, where they got caught out and then let Misfits take the Baron for free. Then Misfits took a whole bunch of stuff, but then Misfits, while taking the stuff, lost a bunch of stuff as well. Gave up the Baron, but was able to trade the Elder Dragon and win the game. It was a very messy fight.
And if the other team is on Elder Dragon and you're on Baron, you should probably take Baron. It's a good plan.
I don't know. I think you want to know what's a better strategy? You start Baron, you get to about 5k HP, you realize the enemy team's on Elder, you're like, we should try and stop them at Elder, and then you just leave.
We should go fight them after they get Elder.
Yeah, and you just leave that Baron. You don't need that anymore.
Yeah. Useless objective. But
NA.
Yeah, I'm still like they beat Excel 1 Misfits. It was a very close game.
Yeah.
And they had their win condition with Hans Sama on his one trick.
Yep.
Draven.
And Febiven had a great game.
Febiven obviously popped off that scoreline.
Hey, Silas built Lichbane. I'm happy about that. I'm not. Leandry seems weird.
But again, Febvin popped off, but it wasn't like Special was feeding.
No, no,
Special is a good
7-4.
player.
He's convinced me over the last few weeks. He's done better.
Yeah.
And Jessica also had a great game, but I think it was just an ugly, messy game. Very messy. Anytime you see up, down, up, down, up, down, it's not a good game. It's a good game, but it's not a good game, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's fun
I'm
to watch.
expecting Kasing to step into an analyst or coaching role soon.
Really?
I mean, I think he's a really smart player. He's apparently very vocal, but his play, not even just this split, just last
I
split
was gonna say
too,
this
was
week he had a really good week.
he had a good week, but he's playing Galio. He gets assists for pressing R.
That's true. That's true. It's better than Jana.
It is better than Janna, but
Fresh shield on
I'm just saying
Five
if you've
assists.
seen Kasing from back in the day when he was on, I think Splice. I mean, he looks way more solid than he has in his
Oh
last split
yeah,
with Splice. And
yeah. And Excel just also doesn't look great in general.
yeah, but I'm okay with Excel and Rogue not doing great. Their first like split organizations.
Yeah,
It's kind of just a hodgepodge of players. So
yeah. And we'll see what they do in the over the offseason as well. Maybe make some
yeah,
moves, fill
I
some
mean,
pieces.
Golden Guardians takes last place 2 splits in a row, and they're a new organization, and now they're looking to potentially make playoffs. Except,
Fourth place.
nope.
I read a power ranking on Reddit today, and it was very detailed, like an essay for each one. And it had Golden Guardians in fourth and CLG seventh, and I was like, you know what you're
Did it
talking
have
about.
it had CLG seventh?
Yep. Or the bottom of the teams that maybe six.
People can't read trends anyway.
No, it was seventh. It was seventh because they had FlyQuest and Optic ahead of them. Anyway, that's NA.
FlyQuest is bad.
Yeah,
No.
FlyQuest ain't great. All right, we got the last game of this week was Origin versus Vitality, and Origin destroyed Vitality this game in the sense of objectives, not really in kills.
Yeah, this to me was my reason. Am I lagging?
Nope.
Really? Okay, my voice connection on Discord was red. Uh, this is Draven versus Ezreal, and Attila. I mean, he played. It looks like he played safe. I admittedly
He
didn't
didn't
watch
die.
this. Yeah, but it's just Ezreal in a team fight versus Draven. What are you gonna do? And you have tanks, but they have a Draven.
I think Ezreal does better in teamfights than Draven late game.
I definitely don't.
I, I
If he
think
gets on a carry, it's 2 shots and they're dead. If you have 2 Qs spinning.
same with Ezreal though with his empowered W.
But you gotta hit W and
You
Q,
do
and you
got to
gotta
hit
hit it
him,
more
but
than
I
once.
think Ezreal does more damage than Draven at the moment.
But you gotta hit it.
You got to hit it. That's the thing. You do got to hit
Draven has to click on you.
it.
Press Q.
Yeah, yeah. Draven literally just auto. And not to mention that lifesteal. Holy well, yeah. Ezreal doesn't really get that.
Yeah, Ezreal doesn't have lifesteal, but he makes up for it in mobility.
That is a cheese build. The Death's Dance
Yeah.
Bloodthirster.
That's the T1 special.
I think that Ezreal in this game, frankly, his build. I guess you have to have the executioners for Vlad and Draven apparently. I don't like the Hex Drinker that much.
He built too defensive.
Yeah, he built too defensive. The Iceborne you don't really need either, because I know it's nice on him, but that's usually for when they have a lot of attack damage.
Draven
I mean, they just had Draven though.
and Rek'Sai.
Yeah, but I'm saying like usually you build it when there's 3 or 4 AD threats on the enemy team. You didn't have second tier is what I'm trying to get at. And he has the Blade of the Ruin King, which is really solid on tanks. There's not many tanks right here.
Yeah, I didn't know about the blade.
Yeah,
For this game. It's some. I guess he needed some sustain.
yeah. That helps with the same, but
It's not even like Vlad was stacking HP. I don't see what it was for.
yeah, I definitely think you should definitely have 2 tiers. Get rid of the Blade of the Ruin King. Get rid of the Hex Drinker. Like it was way too safe of a build.
Yeah.
Especially when you had Renekton falling off late game. You had Zoe, but like you have no damage outside of his Zoe doesn't miss or doesn't land anything. And that's what happened. As you can see, late game, the game was like even. We hit late game, 30 minutes, boom, game over. One team fight. Baron and then one team fight, I should say.
Hmm
And then those are the games, though. So with that, let's go over the players of the week. Top laner of the week, we had Alfari on Origin. I almost put Misfits earlier today. I had to ask Brock, and he failed the quiz. KDA of 9 and CSM of 9 and average DPM of 342. It was a very solid week for him. Jungler of the week was Fanatics Broxa, KDA 15, damage percentage 21.3, DPM of 314. Mid lane of the week was Origin's Nukeduck at KDA of 10, CSM of 9.5, damage percentage of 23%, and a DPM of 510. ADC was Origin's Patrick. Origin had a very good week, by the way, stat-wise. I was not expecting how well they had it. KDA of Perfect. Kills, an average kills of 5.5. There was actually 3 ADCs with a perfect KDA this week, but he had that's why I had to go down to who had the most kills and stuff like that off of that, and then who had like CS and who had the most damage, winning. Yeah, exactly. And I was actually gonna pick Reckless until I saw he only had like 17% of his team's damage. Patrick had 37.4% of his team's damage, so I feel like that was a little more impactful. And he had a DPM 500. And then support of the week was Kazing, like I was saying before, 9.7 KDA, 13.5 in assists, and I forgot to write down vision score for him, but I'm assuming it was 2 point something because it's always 2 point something.
Unless you're what's his name?
Core JJ. Then it's like insane.
Like 3 plus.
Yep. All right, and Brock, you sent me play of the week, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I forgot to do that earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. All right. Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
SK looking for the inhib. Teleport comes out. Caps immediately goes for the inhib himself. G2 trying to stall SK, but SK might just take the fight. Wonder down to about half HP. While of Joseph Pugs cleanses it away. Great knock up. The Cataclysm comes out as well. But already Yankos is down. And now SK just trying to turn and burn on this fight because Caps is on their inhibitor. He's looking for the base. One down. Yankos falls. Crown Shot takes down the inhibitor. Takes down Mickey as well. Is this it? Is this the moment that SK keep their playoff dreams alive? They take down G2 in their base. Wonder trying to do it again. Perks there as well. But already the second Nexus Towers fall. Caps is on the Nexus Towers. But SK are on the Nexus. And they will take down G2.
Yeah, that team fight was as perfect as you could possibly play a team fight. And that was against a team who can team fight like G2 can. Like, throughout that entire team fight, only one person got attacked the whole time. Every time it was one person at a time. They weren't constantly blowing everything on everybody. It was just completely focused down one person at a time to make sure you don't mess this up. Because Caps is already at your Nexus Towers.
Yep. And just look at the Jinx, like the Jinx rockets.
The Jinx damage was insane.
Yeah.
Gets obliterated.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, especially coming off of his GA, and even Mick
He took the GA, and that was 2 seconds, and he got freaking maybe 1 hit. Thresh got the confirm.
Yep.
And that's crazy because even when Yankos is in his GA, no one is attacking anyone else. They're waiting for his GA to come up.
Yeah.
And then they jump back on him and then go straight to Alistar.
I think, looking back at it, I definitely think they have a much better. Obviously, they have a much better chance, but I think they have a legitimate chance to win that team fight with Perks or not Perks, Caps there.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm really happy to see not Crown Shot popping off on SK. It's
right.
Hopeful. For
you mean self-made?
Self-made, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Crown Shot doesn't. Crown Shot doesn't pop off too much.
I was saying because I'm glad Crown Shot.
Yes,
well.
yeah.
We had a Sivir pop off and a Jinx pop off this week.
Weird.
It's looking good.
ADC's got buffs and they're looking really nice.
Looking good for different ADCs.
Maybe China will actually play on 9.4, and I can see Uzi on these ADCs.
Probably not. We'll still see him play something like Biz, bot lane or something.
They're still on 9.2. I don't get it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they are still on 9.2. I don't.
What are their like actual servers on?
9.4, 9.5 probably. Now I don't know. I have no idea. It was on 9.2 for a while because Chinese New Year, but then they're like, oh, we're just gonna skip 9.3. You're like, okay, whatever, that's weird. But we'll go to 9.4. 9.4 is over, and they still haven't gone to 9.4. Like next week is 9.5. It's so weird. I don't I guess they're just delaying to 9.5 now. I don't know.
I think they do skip patches.
They do. They talk about that. It always skips over Chinese New Year, but they were saying that this one, for some reason, they've skipped a little longer than normal.
Huh.
Anyway, let's go over our power rankings for week 8, not week 7. I always forget. This is the one thing I forget to change on everything. This is the. All right, week number 8. We all have G2 number 1. They've been there since the beginning. Not the beginning, preseason.
Yeah.
We all have number 2, and then immediately changed them all to number 1.
Yeah, didn't believe, then believed.
Yeah, actually, I think I had Misfits number 1 for like the first 2
You
weeks
did.
because they looked great for the first 2 weeks, and then they stopped doing that.
I'm just gonna say I called it, and it
Mhm.
was 100% because I listened to Frostgaren say they're not that good, and I was like, they're not that good.
And now they're 1 game out of second or whatever.
Who, Misfits?
Yeah, aren't they?
Technically,
Yeah.
they're not that good.
No, 2 games out of second. Sorry. But yeah, I have Origin number 2. Brock, you have Origin number 2. Brian, you have Vitality number 2 still.
Yeah, and that was because I think Vitality is just a better team,
Mhm.
and I like Vitality, but I think they lost to OG, but I thought it was because of the Ezreal. I think if they play a more aggressive AD carry, it may be a different game. So
I
I have my doubts about Origin. I know they beat G2, but they've had some really weird losses.
They've
They're
had some
trending
bad
up.
losses. They had some
I
great
moved I
ones.
moved them up in my rankings.
That is
So
true. You have them number 3. That's they belong definitely at 2 or 3. I don't have any issue with that. I was just a little confused because Origin did beat Vitality, but I actually dropped Vitality all the way to number 4 because I'm riding the Fnatic hype train. Fnatic looks great right now, in my opinion, and
They do look
I
good.
moved them all the way up to number 3. Brock, you have them at 5. Brian, you have them number 4. Like, I'm curious, Brock, why do you have Splice over Fnatic?
The only reason I have Splice over Fnatic is purely based off of records right now. Like I only have them 1 spot above Fnatic because they're 1 game above Fnatic.
Got it.
It's not so much that I believe they're a better team, but I also can't say if Fnatic plays Splice, Fnatic's going to blow them out because you literally can't pick games in EU. It's almost impossible. Even with G2, it's even hard to pick G2 now. It's like they go into games knowing they're going to win and they lose.
Yeah, it started out so good. We were 6-4, 7-3, 8-2. Like it was like 9-1. Like we all started out really, really hot, and we're so
great.
average since then. The last
Yeah.
4 weeks have been average. But
all the 5-5s for me.
yeah,
Freaking
lots of them. I've had 2 out of 4 weeks. You've had 3 out of 4 weeks, and Brock's had it 4 out of 4 weeks.
I do have the best week in EU.
Yes, you
but,
do at 9-1. Very
yeah.
solid week. Sadly, that week didn't gain you much because I had an 8-2 and Brock had 7-3 as well.
Yeah, that one was pretty cookie cutter. I had my picks, and Brock tried to go bold, and it
Savage.
didn't go horribly.
I had the Rogue over Vitality, and SK over Origin. But
Hey,
at the
man.
time, that one wasn't that bad, I don't think. But yeah, I have Splice number 5. I have Vitality number 4. I think Splice is still just I think Splice is a playoff team. I think they're just a below average playoff team, the first round knockout type deal. Same with Misfits.
Sandy.
I think Misfits is the same. You can see Sandy. There you go.
Yeah, she's on the bed. What's it called? Yeah, I mean, I lost my train of thought because I saw Sandy. Yeah.
But yeah, Splice and Misfits I think are the 2. I have them as the 2 playoff teams. I know you have SK and Splice, it looks like, Brian, and Brock, you have Fnatic and SO4. So we're all actually different. We all have different teams. That's the weird thing about EU. It's all so close that between the bottom 2 spots of the playoff, I think we're all pretty much sold on the top 4, I would say.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And then between the rest of the teams that are also tied and like almost in second place, like we were saying before, I have Misfits and Splice. You have Fnatic and SO4. You have SK and Splice. Like we all have different picks. Like me and Brian have SO4 out, and I have SK out. You have SK at number 5, actually, Brian.
Yeah. My thinking for these power rankings is it's about to be playoff time. throughout the best of 3 time.
Mhm.
I think SK beats really good teams and just loses to really bad teams.
Yeah,
So
that's a weird thing.
it's really weird. In a best of 3 situation, I think if they say Splice makes it in, I have them at 6, and I guess they won't play unless they both win. But uh, what's it called? I think they would win a best of 3 for sure. So I have them above Splice,
Got it.
and I'm just kind of out on Misfits.
Yeah, I still have hope in Misfits. I still not like super hope like I used to, but I think they're at least a bottom of the pack playoff team. I don't have hope in SK because they screw me over every time I pick them or don't pick them, so I don't know
They're
what.
hard to pick.
I have no idea what to pick with them. I have no idea. In SO4, I've lost all hope. I've lost.
Yeah.
I think it's a train wreck. I think Attila, like we were saying before, mentally broke, upset.
Yeah.
He has not looked good since then.
He broke upset.
Like he that trash talk and just calling him out on stage, man.
I was so happy when Splice beat SO4
Mm-hmm.
because of Norscaren's reaction. If you listen to the Euphoria with Upset and Norscaren on it, Upset is just like he was just flaming pretty much Norscaren to his face. Norscaren's nice, so he obviously didn't say much back. But they played on a team, and Norscaren was like, "Yeah, he was pretty mean to me." So I don't really like Upset as a person. So
Yeah, he seems
I'm
very
glad to see him.
arrogant.
He's very arrogant. He was the best AD carry in EU. Well, Reckless is got his patch back in order.
Yeah, I want to wear a tinfoil hat, by the way.
Perks is just a phenomenal player. He's playing technically off role. And
Yeah, I want to wear a tinfoil hat about Fnatic looking to be near a last place team, and then this patch comes in. It's like,
why is that surprising?
Yeah, it's just like, oh.
Think about Cloud9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
World semifinals from last place or at least 9th place in it.
Yeah. It's just funny when basically every ADC Reckless plays gets an indirect gigantic buff. Yeah, it was just
yeah. If you think about it, they've been out of the meta for a good while.
Yeah. I know. Just
take your tinfoil hat off.
It was just funny to me. Yeah, and we have Excel and Rogue at the bottom. They're still at the bottom.
Yeah, still there, holding it strong.
Been there for pretty much the entire season. But with that, let's get straight into our predictions. We're coming down to the end of the season.
Here we are.
This week and next week.
Yep.
Playoffs.
And then I'm so happy because then I don't have many games to watch during March Madness.
You have 10 games less to watch.
Yeah, and then the week after
playoffs you have probably more. Well, not in one day.
No. It's it'll be fine. I just can't wait till LPL gets in playoffs because 14 best of 3 series is quite a lot. It's quite a lot. I love the LPL though. It's by far my favorite region. Okay, so
hold on. I want to pause you there. Before we get into picks. Okay, Brock. So he's a Team Liquid fan. Right after they, just go off.
Immortals fan before
splits.
that. Immortals
fan when they had almost a perfect split, or did they perfect split? I don't remember.
Almost.
I think they lost one.
I like their colors.
And now he's an LPL fan after they win Worlds.
LPL is so much fun to watch. I highly recommend.
He's also a huge Ohio State fan from back.
No,
I'm
never.
I won't even get into that. He's got the big Michigan thing on his wall.
I'm kicking you from here.
I can give Will credit for is something we probably didn't expect any of us to really say on the podcast is watching all the other regions like we've been watching. NA sucks.
I'm so
by
sad.
The way, like NA is very bad compared to the other regions.
I still have total faith in Team Liquid and C9 personally, and frankly, I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, especially on this podcast. I think EU is just as bad as NA. I really do.
No, I agree. I think both leagues. Along with LMS, from what I've heard, I don't watch all the games.
LMS getting pretty bad.
It's just extremely top-heavy regions where There are clear-cut better teams. I don't know how LMS is going, but historically, I'm just talking
Yeah,
about
there's
Flash Wolves.
it's mad
Just
right now, and Flash Wolves.
mad and Flash Wolves doing good. Good. I like them. I like
Mhm.
their icon. But yeah, I just think it's really top-heavy. The other teams are just for fun players
Yeah,
getting fat checks.
I literally see 2 great teams and 1 good team in NA, and I see 1 great team in EU, and like they have like 4 good teams in EU, so they have more good teams than NA does. But like after that, it's not good.
Yeah,
They
they have
really,
they have more teams that if they made it out of groups at Worlds, you wouldn't be like, "Oh my God."
yeah,
But if like TSM makes it out of groups, if I'm assuming they go to Worlds based on points or something, or
yeah.
they smurf and do great next split. But because Acadian said they're about to start smurfing, and
I
they've done
love that
well.
meme.
But yeah, that's so good.
Someone did
Uh,
it for Jenner today. I forgot it, but it was amazing.
yeah,
But yeah, I think
you would be
th-
shocked if TSM made it out of groups. I would.
yeah, I would like. There's only like it's even hard to say for MSI contenders, like teams that can be relevant at MSI. EU only has 1, and that's G2 in my opinion. NA has 2 with Team Liquid and C9, but like
Better region.
I wouldn't say that because they have so much crap outside of those 2 teams. TSM is a good team, and then the rest literally is 7 teams of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And then like
And what-
EU has like 5 teams of crap.
Yeah. Like honestly, being an NA fan and like enjoying the teams that we've been watching for so long, I honestly do not want to see NA play against any other region. Maybe EU, just because they also have bad teams. I don't want to see NA play against anybody else.
I'm
Like,
gonna
that would be painful to watch.
come out.
Sorry for interrupting
No problem.
again. I really hope that they take Rift Rivals seriously because it has such potential to be such a fun tournament
Yeah.
against rival regions, and every other region takes it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And last year, NA 100 Thieves put in Levi, which I was excited to see him play, even though it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
But they subbed out Someday, and like that was when he was MVP candidate.
Yeah, it was so
And,
good.
Like what? I get you want to try your team, but I hope they try
Brandini.
this year. Brandini, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll flame
just-
him. I don't even care. Clap me in league, but you know what? I'll fight him.
Yeah, the MSI makes me so sad because I might have some LPL bias. I think they have 4 of the top 5 teams in the world. Literally,
That's not really biased.
I think
They've
4 of
just-
their team. I think they have 2 through 5 on the best teams in the world. Griffin number 1, but like outside of that, they're insane. I'm so looking forward to the playoffs for there. But we're not talking LPL. Sidetracked. We're talking predictions for week 8 of the LEC. Game number 1, I believe, is Splice. Hey, look, Google was right. Splice versus G2 to start. And I mean, G2 did suck against SK. They didn't suck against SK. They blew it because they were cocky against SK. Which leads me to believe is potential for them to blow something against Splice because they get cocky, they can't end the game, and Splice takes it to 45 minutes where they activate their power mode. But I don't see it happening 2 games in a row. If they would have beat SK, maybe I would have thought about it a little harder, but I can't see it happening 2 times in a row.
Yeah. I do think Splice is going to take G2 into deep waters.
45
But I
minutes?
think that's also going to be because G2 is going to allow them to do it. And I think that's just going to allow Perks probably going to be on something like Sivir or a Jinx pig or something like that. They're going to get full build. They're essentially going to let Splice play the way Splice wants to play, and then they're going to beat them in team fights.
Mhm.
I mean, I think the fact that G2 could lose the next 4 games and still get second,
Yeah.
I could see them kind of trying something crazy and Splice winning, but I'm still gonna go G2.
Yeah,
You already put me for G2.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I think so. We're all thinking there's a possible upset here. We're not brave enough to take the risk on it. There's a possible upset here, though.
G2
Yeah.
is not playing for a perfect split anymore.
No.
They've got a big game against Vitality, so I think they'll try hard pants for that. And
Yeah, because they win that, they win the
if they
split.
win one more, I think they clinched.
You
Because
are if they beat
Vitality's got
Vitality.
9 wins.
If they beat
Vitality's
Vitality,
got
'cause
9 wins.
yeah,
Like
but if
4,
Vitality
13.
beats G2, they could potential
They could
tiebreaker.
technically
Yeah. So yeah, you're right though. They just need to win either 2 games or just win 1 against Vitality, and then they don't have to win for the rest of the year for first place.
G2's got some spicy matchups for the rest of
the
rest of the split.
And they won't really matter, which is sad.
I mean, it could matter for first, but yeah.
This next game, tough one to pick. SO4 versus Excel. SO4 has looked terrible over their last few weeks. Like really, 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 really bad. And Excel was actually looking okay last week, but I've had this situation multiple times this year where I still have to pick SO4 because I don't like what Excel is doing necessarily. I mean, I don't think I think this is like the one game that they can win still. Like this and Rogue is the only 2 teams that they could probably still beat. And so maybe this will heal them a bit, but I don't know. I gotta go SO4, but I'm not very confident about it.
I know Kasing got support of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not sold on the team, so I'm going SO4, but I don't want to pick
Yeah, it's the same. I've had this 3 times this week. I had it with Sunning against LGD, where I've had it with SO4. All these teams that are like, I don't want to pick up. I'm done with them. I think it was FlyQuest as well. But like
Schalke also has a very good chance to 2-0 this week and make playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not make, but like for sure, but pretty much make playoffs and kick Misfits out.
Yeah.
I think. So if they are going to snap into gear,
this is the week. Yeah.
This is the end because
there's only 1 week
next week they play Origin and then they get a free win too. But
against Rogue.
But anyway.
Brock, did you have SO4?
Yeah.
SO4 all around. Next we have Origin versus SK Gaming. This is I don't know what to do because I hate SK Gaming. I don't hate them. I just hate predicting them. I hate it. It's like they're so tough to predict. And I think Origin also drops some funny games as well. This is prime real estate for an upset. I'm still going Origin though, but I'm not comfortable for what the records are. I guess I should be a little bit more. Not really. It's not that big a deal. But what the talent level is, I would say between the 2 teams, I should be way more comfortable with this pick. I'm not comfortable with this pick at all. I'm going Origin because I still think they're the second best team in Europe right now, but I can see an upset.
Yeah, I mean they just beat a better team.
They did.
But I just think Origin has looked great. Not early, but recently. They beat Vitality. They beat Splice. It's 2 playoff teams, in my opinion. Splice is on the knife's edge, but I'm gonna go Origin as well.
Yeah, I don't feel
SK is my sneaky squad. Like I really like that team.
I literally don't feel comfortable with all 3 picks. I feel okay with the G2 one, but I still can even see an upset there. Like that's how bad or how crazy EU is right now. Brock?
Yep. Yeah, I also have Origin. I have Origin because Origin's coming into this on a 2-0 week, and SK is just coming in off of a win against G2. But guess who did it first?
Origin.
Origin beat G2 first.
Do you remember what Origin did after they beat G2?
They lost, didn't they?
They lost both
Yeah, they
times
lost
that week.
yeah, Fnatic.
Fnatic and someone else I don't remember. But
Fnatic and Misfits.
yeah, wasn't a good week.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got Origin winning this one as well.
All right, on to Fnatic
Yeah.
Misfits. I'm kidding.
Yeah, Team Vitality versus Rogue. I think Team Vitality. This is a very good rebound game for them. Always nice.
This is a good win to get under the belt.
Yeah, and I think
Top
that
2.
I don't like the Wadid coming back. I think this is going to be a blowout game.
Yeah.
Can we get Jizuke back, by the way? Like, I like this guy, but can we get Jizuke back?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, Jizuke was sick, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be
Get
fine.
that man some vitamins.
Wow, we're all the same so far.
I know. That's why I really wanted to pick SK and Origin, but
It's tough.
It'd be hard to pick SK and Origin. They're playing against each other.
Excel.
SK over Origin is what I meant.
In this game we have Fnatic versus Misfits. I like Misfits, but I think Fnatic is just on the rise. I can even potentially argue Fnatic might be the second best team as of right today. They might be the second best team in Europe at the moment again, which is crazy to think of how bad they started out this split. And I think they're gonna win this game. I think they're gonna win it pretty handily.
Who's Misfits top laner? Can't think of it off the top of my head.
Why am I blanking? I was gonna say Alfari. I'll pull it up.
Is it Odo? No, he's on.
Why am I blanking?
Misfits top laner, Soaz.
Soaz, duh. Yeah, Soaz.
Soaz,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I kept thinking I only had Alfari in my head, and I could not. You know when you can't get any other name.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going through my head.
I really hate Misfits, but I really want to pick them.
Oh, really? Why so?
Because I think Febivin has looked great. I think Nemesis has looked good, but Febivin has come into his own late into the split. He's become, I think, the main carry. I know Hansama did well in their win last week, but he was on Draven. So ban Draven, and I think you'd have to win through Febivin, but Brock, who are you picking? Who are you picking? I know you don't like Febivin.
I'm picking Febivin.
I'm gonna go Misfits.
Ooh.
I mean, they're 7-7 team. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not a
I
crazy
think
pick.
Soaz also had Whippo's number last time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lol. Who doesn't?
Not last week.
That's a full game doesn't count.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, all these picks are outside of the Vitality Rogue. That's the only one I'm 100% comfortable with.
The only thing I'm not used to this season is there being a Fnatic game, and you're not just like, all right, Fnatic wins, GG, go next.
Yeah.
You actually have to think about it. Yeah, you actually have to think about, can Fnatic actually win this game against Rogue? I don't know. Can Fnatic beat Jin Air? Who knows?
Yes.
We really just don't know.
Yes, we know. Not anymore, actually. Jin Air coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't make those jokes anymore.
Jin Air's Korean, correct?
Yep. Now they are. They're 3-25 now. Yeah, they're
gotta win in LCK.
3-25. Oh. Next game number 6. Misfits coming off the last game and the first game next day. Wow, crazy. Misfits versus Shulka. This game.
I'm gonna kick myself for this.
I have Misfits now.
I have Misfits over Shulka this game.
I also have Misfits.
I think even though like I said in the last one, I only think the two teams that Shulka can beat right now are Excel and Rogue. I don't think they can beat any of the other teams fighting for playoff spot, which is why I have them at the bottom. You also have Misfits?
I have Misfits.
New Misfits fan, Brian. All right.
No, I hate them.
Looking good, Brian. I appreciate your picks. I've got SO4.
SO4? Ooh, look at that. We're changing up a bit. Nice. I like it.
We're changing up in day 2 and end of day 1.
All right. Next we have Splice versus SK. In this game, I actually have Splice winning. I haven't picked Splice in a long time, I feel like. But, no, I picked them in week 6. but outside of that, but that was against Rogue, so that doesn't count. So I haven't picked them in a really meaningful game since like week 5 or I think week 5 I picked them once, and then after that, I haven't picked them since week 2. So it's been a long time. I've been kind of a hater on Splice for all year, but I actually think they're going to beat SK here. I know self-made, I know, but this is one where I think Splice can just delay the game long enough where junglers aren't really effective for the most part late game. You know, there's not a really late game carry jungler if you think about it. And is there any that you can think of off the top of your head that I'm completely missing?
Late game junglers?
Say that again, Brian.
Oof.
I said
late game.
Yeah, like super hyper carry late game jungler. I feel like almost every jungler falls off towards the end of the game.
I think
in the meta at the moment.
Yeah, I think for right now the meta doesn't play towards hyper carries. I think it would be like
Bot lane.
Yeah,
more beneficial to the team.
yeah. I think
Like a jungler that can do like
CC.
team fights,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
And the only thing that really pops in my head is like Gragas.
Yeah. I don't think Gragas is super effective in the. I guess he could be with the pick off potential, but I feel like he's much.
And they're
more
gonna
mid
build
game.
him full AP.
I think damage wise, like hyper carry, I'd say no, but I'm still on Sejuani train. It's boring.
Sejuani is
played it.
nice.
I played it. It's actually really fun to play. It's boring to watch, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think Splice will delay long enough so Selfmade isn't able to make as big of an impact in this game as he could. And then that Splice will get that 45-minute power buff and win the game.
So you're going Splice.
I'm going Splice.
Where are you going, Brock?
I'm actually gonna go SK because, like you said, Sejuani pick. I think Sejuani is actually a very good pick to counter Splice's gameplay because Sejuani's early clear is very good, and her map pressure is very good at shutting down lanes as well.
And Selfmade's
Yeah.
great on the pick.
Yeah, so I think if they pick the Sejuani, I think they'll be able to progress the game quick enough to where Splice won't be able to do what they want to do. Because unlike day one, I don't think SK is going to want to allow Splice to have that gameplay.
I want Sejuani banned on Splice's side.
I'm looking at the stream, William, and I see Game 2, Week 7, SK, lose. Game 4, Week 6, SK, lose. And then even in Week 4, but I'm still going to go SK. I know they lost to Excel. I think this is a big game for them.
It's a big game for everyone.
It's a big game for both of them.
For literally every team has big games.
But SK is the big game team.
So far.
So far.
Yeah,
and I think you gotta put some respect on their name for beating G2.
That's true. I'm putting them on an 0-2 week.
They're also going to be really coming into this game, both teams, because technically we have both of these teams coming in off of a loss with 1 week left after this.
Yeah, that's true.
So I expect lots of good games the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to get crazy, especially with all these teams being tied.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one I might not just spoil for myself and have to actually watch the VODs.
Next we have Fnatic versus Excel. This game, I think this... No?
Oh, for me, the next one's OG Rogue.
So they messed it up on Google a little bit.
That's fine. We'll just go with that one.
Yeah, Excel versus Fnatic. I think this one should be a blowout. This is the one of the rare games this week where I'm fully confident in picking Fnatic, and I think it'll be totally okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
Same.
I think
Fnatic.
Yep.
What were you saying, Brock?
No, I said I think this one, and like Will said, I agree. I think this is a very confident Fnatic pick.
Yeah, same with the Origin pick next against Origin against Rogue. I'm totally fine with that. I'm assuming you are too, Brian?
Oh, yeah, Origin, for sure.
Yeah, those two. Okay, so we get a little nice... Those are going to be 2 games we lose, by the way.
100%.
I'm like, all these picks are hard. Oh, these 2 are easy. These 2 are super easy.
Reckless is going to do the whole, what was it, week 2 or 3?
Yeah,
There's like 0-7 at 4 minutes.
Yeah, I'll play Lucian or something. I'm like, no, you don't need to play that.
How many losses does TL have, Will, off the top of your head?
1.
Just one?
Yep.
Yeah. I think NA is confirmed better.
I don't know.
I was just thinking. Yeah.
Final game of the week. Tough game. Definitely game of the week. Vitality versus G2.
I said for sure too much.
Yeah, this is I think G2 wins this game, but I think they step up. I really do think they step up this game. I'm gonna come out and say it because they play such a cocky game. They are just like Invictus Gaming. Like I feel like they learned from Invictus Gaming last year. G2's always been cocky though, so like they're both such cocky teams, and they always just they mess up certain things that they shouldn't because of it. But I still think they're going to win because this is a very important game, and they're not going to be is messing around so much as you would see them in other games that don't matter as much. This game, they win, they clinch first place.
Okay, Brock, before you pick, and William, I know you picked G2,
Mm-hmm.
and this isn't going to change it, but let's theory craft. G2 goes into the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they play a slow macro game, because I'd say Vitality's macro isn't
G2 playing a slow macro game? What the hell?
a slow macro game. Do you think they win? They just spread them out across the map. Do you think they can beat Vitality with that style?
Yes, because I think that G2, when it comes down to a slow macro game, at the end it's going to come down to one, like...
Vitality's still playing Vitality style, by the way.
Yeah, I assume so. But
Yeah.
I think that if it came down to a slow macro style of game, it's going to come down to like one team fight with Wonder splitting on, maybe even put him on Camille Yorick or something like that. You put him on a 4-1, and then you'd have just simply better players overall with caps and perks and stuff for a team fight, and you'd be able to win off of that.
Yeah. And then the other theoretical is G2 puts the pedal to the metal and takes it Vitality style to Vitality. I still think they win.
I still think they win.
The only thing is, if they go pedal to the metal, which I think they will because they're G2,
Yeah.
and they are just the better players, if they take their foot off the gas, if they turn on that cruise control for a second, I think Vitality will snatch them up and will win. But I'm still going to put G2.
Yep. Like that, I totally agree with you. That's why I said they gotta step up for this game. They can't have their what they've been doing.
Bold prediction there.
Yeah, bold prediction of G2.
I'm actually the opposite. I think if G2 plays a macro game against Fnatic, I actually don't think they win that. And the only reason I say that is because Vitality is more experienced in that kind of play because they've had to. G2 has not had to play like that, like at all this season. And it's not to say they can't play like that. It's just we haven't seen them play like that. So I can't confidently say they can win a game like that off of what, I mean, possibly number 2 team.
I agree with you.
But it's purely based off the fact that we can't confidently say G2 can win that because they haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
So I think Vitality this game has to do what I'm assuming G2 is going to do in the Splice game. They're going to need to take G2 at the deep waters and force them to do like... Vitality's going to want to do like a 1-3-1 strat this game. And you're going to want to put Vitality on... that was the other thing I was going to say. That also completely depends on who the mid laner is. Because I would be more confident in saying that if you put Jizuke on Echo and have him split push, I think he could possibly take even Caps on the Echo pick, depending on who Caps plays.
I can guarantee it's going to be Jisuke.
In the sideline.
I can guarantee it'll be Jisuke. There's no way they're letting him miss against G2.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's no way it can't be Jizuke. It has to be Jizuke.
Even
if I can't ever remember his name. The backup mid laner for Vitality. I think I could see him playing against Rogue just to get him some stage time.
Yeah.
But also they have to win that game.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't think he will. I think it'll be just
You can't pull an Afrika and play your third string mid laner for all 3 games and lose to Jenner. Unacceptable.
At some point, being sick doesn't matter anymore. I mean, Michael Jordan had the flu game. I think you need to suck it up and get out there.
I feel like Michael Jordan has ruined the flu for every athlete in the world.
Yeah, he really has.
Like, literally...
Hey, there's a conspiracy theory that he was just hungover, okay?
like literally every time an athlete has the flu, they bring up the Michael Jordan game. Like, how many times have they failed because they have the flu? Have you had the flu before? It sucks!
Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah. My girlfriend currently has had the flu for about a week, and she is just out of it.
Yeah, I had the flu 3 years ago. 2 years ago. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I was literally out, like, bedridden for 4. I think I lost 11 pounds in 4 days or 5 days because I just could not eat, could not drink. Like, I was like dehydrated. Dude, basically.
I should just get the flu like once every other month.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
Shed the weight.
Not worth
a week of pain for a lifetime. Okay. Unhealthy. Don't do that.
Yeah, unhealthy. Don't do that.
Right,
we don't
you're at
condone
G2
that.
as well, Dubrock.
No, I
No,
have
you
vitality.
have vitality. Ooh,
Yep,
I
I'm doing
like
the
it.
bold prediction.
I love it.
I like it.
You don't get the bold from the spreadsheet only allows Brian to
Dang
be
it.
bold.
All right, put me on Brian's side. I want the bold prediction.
That means you have to introduce me second now.
Oh, no, we can't have that.
All right. That
His vitality is bigger than the other.
it is for some reason. I don't know why. It's like size 12, but
Because
it's slightly bold. Slightly bold. Yeah. So that is our predictions. We have a lot of different this week, actually. Not for the first 4 games, but then game 5, Brian, you have a difference, and Brock has a difference, and I have a difference. Then Brock has another difference. So it's not as many as I thought.
Yeah, no, it's we could all take games off of each other,
Yeah.
or we could all lose our bold picks and we're still tied.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
It'll be-
looking
Well,
for another.
technically, I would say Splice SK isn't a bold pick. It's a confidence. It's a gut check for both.
Even Misfits SO4, that's a close one. Fnatic Misfits, that's also close. I don't think that's too bold either. I think
Yeah,
the vitality over G2 is honestly not even that bold at the way G2's playing right now. But they're
Yeah.
confident. But that is the
never
podcast.
thought we'd say that this week.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know. That is our podcast, though. Went a little long. We had a lot of discussion, actually, on our predictions, which is nice. I like that. But thank you guys for watching. You can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/KingLeagueFan. Stream around 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. Sundays LPL.
Standard time.
Eastern Standard. I never say that. I should probably say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Pacific Coast people being like, "Where the hell's the stream?"
Yeah. Sundays LPL. Mondays LCS. Tuesday is LCK. Wednesday is LMS. And Thursday is the LEC. And then obviously I upload them immediately up to YouTube after this. I did upload LMS, but I went to bed a little bit after that and didn't see my little email. It said upload has failed for some reason. It just failed. So it was a little late today on that upload, but I promise we made those predictions before the games. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Or nope, Sunday for LPL.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.